for today, the first thing I want you to do is attempt the Google Slides matching activity. I will show you what that looks like here on the very next slide. It'll be really brief just to kind of explain how it works, what you're doing with it, and then we'll move on to the note. So first up for the slides activity. So there's 3 slides. The first 2 slides have the figures where you're going to do the classifying, and then the third page has all of those options. So all you need to do is just cut and paste or copy and paste from that third slide for the angle type. So that's where you'll have like alternate exterior, alternate interior, same side interior, same side exterior, corresponding vertical. And then you say how they are related. So are they congruent or are they supplementary? Those are going to be the 2 answers for the relationship piece. So in this very first one, I have this done for you. The 2 blue dots, those would be alternate exterior angles, and alternate exterior angles are congruent. See if you can work your way through those remaining classifications. Once you do that, then come back to the video and you can pick up on the next slide. So where we're continuing on with this are still determining angle measures, but we're going to look at finding all of them at one time. So when 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, they create, so in this case, because it's just 2 parallel lines, it's going to be 8 angles total. So there's 4 at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 more down here. So that's where the 8 is coming from. These angles form a pattern of congruent, sorry, that's an E, and supplementary angles. So let's see what here. So on this first example, I look at the angles I have and just to kind of like review where all of this is going. The classification here would be these 2 angles are on the same side of the transversal. That's the transversal. And they're on the outside of the parallel line. So these are same side exterior angles, and same side exterior angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. You can see that's true here. 71 plus 109 is in fact 180. So now we can fill out everything else. There's lots of ways you guys can go about this, but let's talk perhaps about vertical angles first. So over here, if this is 71, across from it, this is also 71. Similarly, if we got 109 there, then 109 is also here. When we have a linear pair, we know that those add up to 180, which would mean this angle is 109, the other is 109, and by the same reasoning, these 2 are 71. So notice it says find all the missing angles. That's why I went ahead and filled all those in. So then here on number 2, so on 2, these 2 angles right here, there's not a relationship with these ones. They're on opposite sides of the transversal, but they're both not in between the parallel lines, and they're also both not outside the parallel lines. So I'm going to have to think about this a little bit more. What I'm going to do is take care of vertical angles, because that will make things a little more obvious. So here I'm looking over here at the 145, across from it is also 145. And then we can say, well, we're going to have a linear pair made, so 145 plus 35 gives me my 180 degrees, and then I can fill in the other angles. Similarly over here, this is 35, this is 145. Oops. Then on number 3, so on 3 we only have 1 angle to start with, but that's okay. So we would know that down here across from it, that's also 42 degrees. Next to it would be an angle that is supplementary with it, making that line. So we would take 180 degrees minus 42 degrees, and that will give us 138 degrees. So this right here is 138. This would be 138. Then if I fall back on what we know about our angle relationships, I could say if this angle is 42 degrees, then this angle here is 42 degrees because they are corresponding. So we'll say that's 42, so then we got 42, 138, 138. So you can see how quickly things just kind of fall into place here. If you know one, you're pretty much all set on all the others. So on number 4, same thing, I'm going to come over here. This is 117 degrees. Its vertical angle is 117. And then just to kind of switch up the thought process here for you, if I use what they gave me and then I come down here, I could say those two angles are same side interior and they would add up to 180. So I could take 180 minus 117 and that will give me 63 degrees. And then I can start filling in everything else. So again, I could have done that by using supplementary with a linear pair, but this is just to show you another way to think about it. And we're almost done. 2 more left. So here on 5, we have the box. Remember that that box tells me that this angle here is 90 degrees, and that's a piece of cake because if that's the case, everything else is 90. And over here on number 6, we have this obtuse angle being 158 degrees, which would mean this one over here is 22. Then I can fill in the rest. Remember, corresponding angles are congruent, so if I have like 158, the one they gave me, then this angle down here is in the same spot. And I can fill in the other information. And now you're ready to give the homework a try.